Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be looking back at a match that I just recorded and going over some of the plays I made in that match, pointing out what I did and why. So I'm taking Ravana into the solo lane and I'm getting matched up against a Bellona. Ravana's level 1 clear is actually pretty weak because his best clear, his third ability, is on an 18-second cooldown and his 1 will only reach 3 minions. Bellona, on the other hand, has the best and easiest level 1 clear in the game with her bludgeon, which means if I meet her at the wave, she's going to outclear me super easily. So instead of going to wave, I buy Bumbas and I start at my blue buff. Now this start lets me actually get my blue immediately, and I hit level 2 as soon as I finish the first wave. This start is especially good for Ravana because my jungle clear is actually much better than my wave clear, and the shield from my passive means that I can finish blue while hardly taking any damage. And so I hit level 2, no problem, and the first few levels in this lane are actually gonna suck. Your wave clear is struggling while Bellona's is great, and you don't have any abilities to avoid her bludgeon hit. Basically, you can't 1v1 Bellona in these early levels, so by the time I'm level 3, I'm already getting forced back and I have to buy teleport. Now this part I actually play really well. I've forced Bellona to burn through most of her potions already, so once I teleport back to the lane full health, she actually can't 1v1 me, especially not once I hit level 4 off of a few minions, because now I can use my 2, which will immune her bludgeon damage, and I can win the trade. And when I see that Bellona is gone from the wave, she must be on her blue buff, so I zone the wave, meaning I do no damage to it, and I let the waves slowly kill each other. This gives me an experience advantage and forces her to push up to me if she doesn't want to fall behind, and when she doesn't push up, I start to gain an experience lead, which sets up for my next play. I'm finally able to poke her out and force her to back, and at least she would have backed if I wasn't rocking the hot Omega taunt strat, baiting her to one more wave through the powers of annoying the actual fuck out of her. So notice at this point she's still level 4 while I'm now level 5, which means this is going to be a super easy kill for me. I wait for her to dash to make sure that I hit my ult, and I clean up the kill. Now there's kind of an awkward phase after this because I'm getting money to finish tier 3 boots and my teleport is still down, so while Bellona is teleporting back, she already has her tier 3 boots finished. And having those boots done is a really huge advantage in the solo lane because she gets a 40 power advantage over me, which means I do not want to fight her pretty much in any situation because she's going to completely wreck me. So instead I head over into the jungle and I farm camps and my wave pretty safely, making sure to avoid 1v1s with her where I can and heading back to base once I'm finally in between minion waves. And once I get back to lane with tier 3 boots, I make sure to poke Bellona where I can while getting the wave cleared so archers don't poke me out too much. As long as I save my 2 to immune her bludgeon damage, I can actually poke Bellona out of this lane matchup pretty easily, and that's what I focus on doing. I hit her with my cooldowns when I can. And when later on both Thor and Agni rotate over to hold her hand, I back off and I hit them with some more taunt spam, which basically tells them to go fuck themselves. So when they decide to leave Bellona and the douchey Ravana player alone, I have her exactly where I want her, low HP and all alone. Now I know that sounds a little bit rapey, but honestly it kind of was. As I finish her off from behind in just a couple of seconds, she clearly had no clue that I'd be able to wipe her out so easily. And now at this point, Agni is trying to get away from our team Susano, which leads him right to me. I just do my best to force Agni's dash, and as soon as he finally does, I ult on top of him and wipe him out too. Now I'm 3-0 and things are looking pretty good over here in the solo lane. So a little bit later into the game, Bellona and Thor make the mistake of engaging on Susano when they're right next to my lane, which gives me an easy cleanup on the low HP Thor, and with Susano at my side, a pretty easy dive into the tier 1 tower to finish off the Bellona. Now this engagement was definitely not all me, and it was actually really well played by our Susano in the jungle. And finally, I'm back to lane with a 2-level lead and Gladiator's shield now online, so I'm looking to pick a fight with the enemy Bellona. However, a single missed 1 causes this tower dive to be way longer than I expected, getting me super low HP once I finally kill her. And with my head down on the kill, I didn't see Agni run right over my ward, who ends up one-shotting me without me even realizing he was there. Oh well, overall not too bad of a trade. It was a 1-for-1 even with a misplay on my part, so definitely not the worst thing that could happen. After my death, I start focusing on objectives for the team, finally killing the tier 1 tower over in the solo lane, and immediately rotating over to my team where we take an easy gold fury. I had just watched Thor ult away from Susanoo at low HP, and with Bellona still in solo lane, I know the only person we have to worry about is Agni, which makes it a perfect time to take gold. And after gold, I see still low HP Thor in the mid lane, and knowing that Bellona is going to be trying to catch up on farm in solo, I ping the portal demon and hope Susanoo will follow me over, so the two of us can sneak the objective, and sure enough, we managed to wrap it up no problem, giving our team even more of a gold lead. And while my team later on starts to engage on the left side of the map, I see an opportunity for myself to take the tier 2 tower over in the solo lane. The tier 2 tower offers 1500 total gold to your team, which is extremely good, and with both Portal Demon and the Gold Fury down, the enemy team can't really get any objectives even if they manage to win that fight over on the left side of the map. And sure enough, my team does lose the fight, but by taking the tier 2 tower over here in the right lane, I'm still able to turn that fight into an overall win. So now with both towers down in solo and gold and portal down for a few more minutes, the game gets a little boring for a while. I just take this time to farm, clearing as many waves as I can and securing any nearby jungle buffs, which is why I'm able to hit level 19 just 19 minutes into the game. Now here I end up making a few misplays trying to engage on the Agni 1v2. The reason for this engagement is actually really good. It's to let my team keep pushing the left side of the map where they have a 4v2 advantage, which is actually a really good idea. Honestly, I'm not sure how they didn't manage to do more over there since they had a 4v2 advantage for about an entire minute, but I still could have played this better. I missed my ult on the Agni, and Bellona managed to block pretty much every 3 that I end up aiming on Agni as well. I also commit too hard, forgetting that Agni had bought Breastplate of Valor, which means my abilities do way less damage than they normally would to a mage. That said, I'm still able to stall both of these enemies for my entire ult cooldown, with the fight starting at 1905 and me finally dying at 1949. Zoning multiple opponents from helping their team like this is actually a really effective strategy in SMITE, and under normal circumstances, your team is able to get a lot more done during that time. In fact, our Susanoo himself said that he saw the 4v2 advantage and tried to push left lane hard, but that our teammates were just kind of being duds and just not really doing anything. Which is unfortunate, but CERN does eventually manage to take out the tier 2 tower and left, so overall things still end up how they should have been. Now on to the team fight, where the enemy team decides to commit very hard onto Cernunnos, which is a huge mistake. Me and Susanoo are easily doing the most damage at this point in the game, which means our enemies burn most of their cooldowns, killing a player who really isn't that much of a concern. And that leads to some really easy cleanup kills for me and Susanoo, killing Thor and Bellona, and eventually Cabrakan, leaving just Agni up to defend, and with the 4v1 advantage, we have no problem taking out the tier 2 tower, and then the Portal Demon. Portal Demon lets us get back to lane full HP, and buy items while we're back at the base, then look to force a Fire Giant with full HP and an item advantage. So when we start Fire Giant, the enemy team tries to steal it, but unsuccessfully, and this was the last hurrah for them. They end up F6ing as we start to murder them in the fight afterwards. So that's the end of the game. Thanks for watching, everyone. There's some Ravana Solo analysis for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts on how to improve the video, definitely let me know. I like the idea of post-commentary vids like these, but I'm sure I can do them better for you. So if you have any feedback for me whatsoever, definitely go ahead and leave it down in the comment section below. Again, thanks for watching, everyone. As always, this is Mast, and I'll see you all in the next one.
I've been seeking for the glory. Say my name. And I've been trying to write my own story in the search for fame. I'm sitting here in this empty room. Walls keep tumbling down.